Hi, my name's Emma Hogan and I'm a colour pencil artist, and I thought I'd share today about making your own colour pencil chart or swatch chart. All these pencils here are Derwent Lightfasts. These are what I've managed to buy from open stock and built up over the past year, I guess, maybe 2 years I've been building these up. There's quite a few here. I buy open stock, which generally means just going to the shop, picking one off the shelf, or going in, buying them from Jackson's art supply store online. And I just buy a handful, maybe 3 or 4 at a time, just because they're so expensive. And it's a collection I've been wanting to build up for a long time. So it's just cheaper than me going out and buying the whole set in one go. I just buy what I think I'll need, which, as you can see, are all quite natural, neutral tones. There is a lot of other vibrant colours, but these are what I collect and what I think I would use the most. So I'll eventually make a chart. Well, I've been wanting to make a chart for a long time for them. So this is the chart that I'll be making today. I'll zoom out a bit so you can see a bit better. So these are the charts that I've got from all my other pencils. So this is Caran d'Ache Pablo. And these are all the pencils I've got so far. As you can see, it's not complete. I just buy open stock and put them on here when I get them. It's a good way of building your collection slowly instead of buying loads of pencils. This is why I like to make these charts, not just to see what colours you have, but as a stock check, so you know that, oh, I have that colour already, I don't need to buy it, etc. So this will eventually look like. This one's pretty much complete. The only ones I don't have are silver and copper, because I wouldn't need that in the Faber-Castell. I wouldn't use that. Well, never say never. I might use it one day, but I can't imagine I will, so I don't have that colour. So these are all the pencils I use: Faber-Castell, Polychromos, Pablo's, Caran d'Ache, and the Luminance. So today I want to make a new chart for the Derwent Lightfast. So I've cut out some pieces of paper here. The size is, this is 8 inches long, this length, by 2.5 inches wide. And I use this paper, which I mostly draw on. This is the thinner paper, the £140. I usually use the bigger paper, the thicker paper. But this is a lot cheaper, and I'd rather use this for this, because it's just the thicker paper I use is a lot more expensive, and I wouldn't want to waste it on the colour swatches. That's roughly the same paper anyway. So before you start, I would check which side you're going to do your drawing on. Just both sides of the paper are slightly different, as you can see there. I've checked there. It's I don't know if you can see it properly. If I do it bigger with this pencil, you can see the grain in that paper, and then turn it over. There's the one I've drawn on. You can see this is a lot linear. You can see the lines through it, those odd lines. So I don't do it on that side. I do it on this side where it's not the lines. So I check that first of all to make sure I'm using the right side of the paper. And then each of these lines, I go down and do an inch, not an inch, sorry, a centimetre for each one of these. So I go all the way along, and then whatever space is left at the top there, I write the name of the pencil, that brand that I'm using. And the little gap at the top there on the next one, I'll just write Luminance, because if this comes apart, then I know that these are my Luminance pencils. Like that. So what I'll do is I'll go through, make this, and then show you the next step. So making these swatches, that's a bit, doesn't have to be perfect, but that's rolling there. Okay, so centimetres all the way down. So making these swatches takes the guesswork out of looking for pencils and stuff like that. That's probably out, isn't it? But like I said, it doesn't need to be perfect. You're just making swatches just to see which pencils you've got, which ones you need. And you can compare it, so if you're drawing something, you can just lift this up, put it next to something and look at that colour and say, yes, this colour is closer to what I'm drawing than this one. You can just gauge it, so you can undo this and put it up against what you're drawing and say, yeah, actually I think this colour would work better. But you could mix them on a bit of paper as well beforehand, so it's not gonna, you might not just use this colour by itself, you might mix these two colours together, which you would do with layering anyway. You'd have this one underneath and then maybe put this one on top. But at least it judges, you can look, instead of going for all your pencils, the colour might not necessarily, if I show you this colour, this is dark indigo. If you look at the end, you can see that looks almost black, but then when you draw it on a bit of paper, you can see that that is a nice blue. So you wouldn't be able to judge it by looking at the end of that pencil anyway, so it does take the guessing out of doing this. So I've got all those lines down the sides now. They're all a centimetre apart from the top one. It's a little bit wider where you would put your title like this, and then put on the other pages Pablo's there. And then you work out where you would put your colours. So the width of that is 1.5 centimetres. Just measure that out quickly. And then just draw your lines all the way down like that. Once you've got your grid drawn out like this, you need to work out how many colours you're going to need. So I need, this is Derwent Lightfast, is 100 colours. So I need at least 5 of these little sheets. I'll roll these in later, but it's just for your benefits because it'll take me a while. So then you go down, you find your grid with all the colours, and then you write every single colour, how Derwent Lightfast has written it out. So that's what I would do. I'll show you on the screen now. And then I'll write every single colour all the way down, and then colour in each colour next to it accordingly. I've started from the back working forward because the colours at the back are the ones I got the most of. So I've got taupe here, which is a really beautiful purpley colour. So I would start dark and shade to light. Only because I know how dark that colour will get when it's at its actual darkest. And then slowly get lighter. So then you can see what it's like at its lightest as well when you're just putting in a light one layer of that colour. So then I'll just go through every single pencil, working all the way down. until it's done. So right at the end, when you've finished all your cards and you've written out everything and you've done all your colours, I usually sit in front of the TV, watch a film or whatever in the evening when I'm doing it, because it does take quite a while by the time you finish writing them out and drawing in your colours. Just taking this apart to show you what I would normally do. So then I would get a hole punch and punch a hole in the corners of each one. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. It's just, I like to keep it all together. Hole punch it and then put a bit of string through it, tie it in a little bow, and I've got it all together. Or you can just chuck them in a drawer, whatever. I mean, it depends. If you've only got the polychromos or the luminance, if you only work with polychromos, you probably don't need to do a hole punch. You just have them all out like that in your drawer and get them out when you need them. But that's how I would normally do it at the end. Thanks for watching.